Hi everyone, this is Dr. E, and I'm here with a video that will hopefully give you some familiarity with D2L if this is a new platform for you. And even if it's not, this may be helpful because every instructor, every professor does things a little bit differently. And if you've taken courses via D2L before, they may still look a little different from how I have structured things. So this is just something to help give you a sense of what to expect with our time together here in the course. So this is actually a course from a previous semester. I think it's more helpful to kind of see everything filled out. Our course is going to be new. There won't be, many announcements or, other kind of visuals that will help you get a sense of what it will eventually look like once everything is loaded as the weeks progress. But this is what everything looks like. You'll see over here we have our little Microsoft 365 widget, which I really encourage you to utilize, take advantage of. This is how you'll get in touch with me. If you've taken courses with D2L before, you know that there previously was a specific D2L email function, and that has gone away since they've integrated Microsoft 365, which is just easier all around. The previous email option was not great, so this is better. So this is the way you'll communicate with me. You'll just click on this. I've already logged in, but it may ask you to log in with your credentials and whatnot. So it'll take you to, where you need to be, and you'll just compose your email from there as you would in any kind of email application. So you can find anybody's name in the course, or of course my name, and just shoot me an email. I do recommend, please, in the subject line, put useful information like our course title and etc., so that I know that this is actually an email that relates to the course. You also have access to your calendar here, which again, just something helpful to keep you organized and updated. And it this is something that functions across all media, so that you can log in from anywhere and access your email, your calendar, or your OneDrive, which is where you should start to think about saving documents, because hopefully everyone has moved away from only saving documents to a hard drive or to a flash drive. You want to save them in some sort of secure cloud service so that you never have issues with corrupted files or loss of any kind of work because of technology that dies or goes bust, or whatever the case may be. So start familiarizing yourself with these different functions. All right, so whenever you log in, you'll always see announcements first, and I try not to overload with announcements because, again, we already have a lot going on, especially, with the pace of our course. So I try to, just offer maybe a few reminders or updates here so that it's the first thing you see when you log in the course. Most of our time is going to be spent in this content area. So once you jump to that tab, it will open and you'll see a bunch of different modules which are listed. These are all called modules, right? So there's a table of contents that has everything, but you have specifically assigned modules. I want you to, yes, there's a start here in our course, so take some time to look through. There are areas where you can find more information about me. There's the syllabus and calendar. So that kind of quick access information is all here at your fingertips in the start here, as well as course frequently asked questions, which, I really urge you to take advantage of looking at, what past students have asked. I try to keep that updated in terms of, sometimes when I create modules or information, things are pretty obvious to me because I'm the one creating the content, but it's not going to be received the same way. So students have asked questions in the past, and to account for that and to make sure that you're not feeling lost right from the get-go, I try to put them all in the frequently asked questions section. So take some time with that. You'll see, for a long semester, all the weeks are here, but note that I only go week by week. This serves a couple of different purposes. One, it keeps you organized as well as me. I get very overwhelmed and overloaded with too much information, and I can only, systematically plan about a week ahead of time. Everything's laid out in our course schedule, but the assignments and everything I tweak and I vacillate. I go back and forth on making decisions. So everything is just a week by week basis. You'll always have access to the book and additional readings here. So, if you've purchased the book through the bookstore, you can do so here or through the publisher's website, which I typically find easier. I'm not supposed to say that, but it is what it is. And then we have any additional readings that are outside of our course text. There's a student success tab, which is really useful. And I find a lot of times students don't spend enough time familiarizing themselves with all the information that is available here. I do want to pause and note, you see that it shows, this percent. I would suggest you ignore that on every page you visit, because sometimes students will confuse this with actually completing assignments and whatnot. It just means you've visited these different areas. So just FYI. So for technology and support, or technology support and resources, there are some quick click areas. Really take some time to learn how to get to VLAC. I would definitely bookmark VLAC on your browser, which hopefully you're using Google Chrome or Firefox. Those are typically the best browsers to utilize with D2L. Others have a tendency to either time out or just not function very well when it comes to D2L. And then you have links to OTS if you have any technology issues. I am not a tech person, so although I will be really sad and sympathetic if you're dealing with something technology based, I am not the person who can help. So make sure that you familiarize yourself. You just click here, you can chat with them, you can call them. If you need to check out a laptop, another link to 365, WebEx and Zoom are ways to set up meetings or for our office hours. And then there's a link to the Pulse app if you would like to utilize the app on your phone or your tablet, but know that the functionality is just not great. So you can do some things with the app, but not all things to be successful in a course. So just keep that in mind. With the student success, there are also bonus events or workshops. So I want you to keep that in mind. Those are some options that you'll have available to you, as well as some writing strategies. So just things to keep in mind, to think about, to know that you have things here for you. Everything for our course will be in this syllabus schedule and rubrics module. So any documents, any videos, all of that you can find here. So get familiar with this. You're not going to see every single document that is on your screen right now, just because we're not to the point where those may be due yet, or things may change a little bit. So remember, this is a previous course, but most of this you'll have access to pretty quickly in the class, because I always want to provide you with, a set of instructions, rubric, and a video if the assignment is a bit more detailed and more clarification is helpful. So you also have access to templates, because I find that especially if folks are using Google Docs, or something similar, MLA is not always the easiest to set up when it comes to formatting, and the default for Microsoft Word is not going to meet MLA guidelines, so I've tried to include all kinds of templates for you to utilize so you don't have to structure everything yourself. So this is a Google Doc link, but then you also have an actual Word document you can download that is in MLA format. All right, there's also an MLA help section, so anything related to MLA you can find here. A helpful link to the Purdue Online Writing Lab website, which this is why we don't have a specific MLA book, because everything we need to know is really accessible here. I have a document that relates to something we'll read later on, but it uses MLA quoting and their examples from that reading. There's an MLA video that you'll watch at some point in the session or in the semester, where I go over things that may be specific to me, because every professor may have a few different expectations. And then there are example citations. So everything you may have interest in or questions about for MLA is there, in addition to in our course text. And then if you need a quick how-to for Google Docs, how do you set that up if you're not familiar with it, or how to do any of the things you may need to do in our course that relates to technology. It's all here. And then we get to our weekly modules, which are always available, and they're always structured in a similar way. There is your this is in your schedule, so this is 1 week in our schedule, and it just has things broken down into to watch. So these are the things that you'll need to watch for the week. These are things that you'll want to review. And then there are always things to do. Okay, so if I jump to any week here, everything's structured the same way. Okay, I have to watch, to review, and then to do. So that, it's a lot of information in online courses. Things move quickly, and so a little bit of consistency can really be helpful in making sure that you're feeling comfortable, that you're moving through the course with confidence. Again, just ignore this. This does not mean things are submitted, right? So that's the content area, and again, this is where we'll spend most of our time. But you can also navigate to different areas here. So if you click on grades, that'll take you to your grade book. Course activities, from the drop down, we will have assignments, and that's how you can directly click there, though you'll also have links in every different week. So you'll have access to that. Don't be overwhelmed by what you see. Quizzes, this is where you can go to find the different quizzes that are due, but again, you'll have direct links to those in your weekly modules. And then in collaboration, this is where you can find links to discussions or to WebEx, which is where our student success hours will be. So if you go to discussions, you'll see our Q&A discussion board. This is where you can ask any questions. You can do so anonymously if you want or not, but this is just, if you have a question, chances are other folks in the course will have that same question. So if you ask them here in kind of a public forum, it's just helpful. This is where everybody should kind of keep an eye on whether there are new items posted. And if you know the answer as a student, feel free to jump in and answer for one another. If I haven't been able to log in yet and you're confident, go for it. There's a student-only chat, which is now called the Student Lounge. And as you can see, I haven't viewed any of the student chat. It's supposed to be an area just for you where you can ask your own questions. If you don't feel like posting in here, you can exchange email or phone numbers, start a group chat, whatever is going to be helpful for you. And then our weekly discussions are here. The last place I want to hit on briefly is WebEx, because this is where our student success hours are held. There's a link in the content area, the module on D2L help and support. There's a link about how to set up an appointment. But if you go to appointment booking, you'll see different slots here. So this is a previous semester, so there aren't any that are available, but you'll just click and select a time that you want to meet with me during the office hours or the student success hours, and we can chat via Zoom, or I'm sorry, chat via WebEx. But if you don't have time to do so during the kind of setup hours, you can always email me and we can do that via Zoom or WebEx or whatever's going to work for you. Yeah, so that's just a kind of quick rundown of D2L. So hopefully this isn't too much information at once, but I hope it's helpful. If you have any questions or concerns, as always, just go ahead and reach out to me by emailing, or you can touch base in another way, if you want to talk via Zoom or WebEx. All right, take care and let's have a great semester.